Welcome to our November Loukoumi Good Deed of the Month from Our Lady of Grace School in the Bronx. I'm Nick Katsouris. I'm very happy to be here. I want to thank Principal Rich Helmrich and everyone from Our Lady of Grace, one of our great partner schools that we're so thrilled to work with. I want to thank all of the schools and all of the children for participating in our October Good Deed of the Month. That's our Postcard to Space project with Blue Origin. If you have those postcards, please send them in. We're still accepting them until November 15th. And then when those postcards come in, we'll be sure to let you know when that New Shepard rocket is going to go into space, and we'll have a live stream video to show where your postcard is going to. Many people are sending postcards to patients in children's hospitals like St. Jude Children's Hospital, which we'll be talking about today, or residents in nursing homes, or friends or grandparents. And you know what? You can even send one to yourself. You're not limited to just one postcard. So if you'd like to send more than one, please do so. So thank you to everyone for participating in that project. So today we're going to be talking about our November Good Deed of the Month, and that is our project for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We have a couple of videos that we'd like to play for you, but before we do that, I wanted to tell you my story and how I got to know St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So it all started in 2008. The Loukoumi Foundation does a Dream Day program every year, which you'll learn about later this year, and I hope many of you will enter. It's a program where we help make kids' career dreams come true for a day. So our first winner in 2008 wanted to be a Mars rover engineer, and I didn't even know what that was. And I was secretly hoping that this young girl was not going to win the contest because I didn't know how it was going to make her dream day come true. Sure enough, she won, and I called NASA blindly, and I said, we have this 8-year-old girl from Great Neck, Long Island. She wants to be a Mars rover engineer. What can you do for us? And that young NASA then said, you know what? We are landing a spaceship on the planet Mars. Believe it or not, the planet Mars. This was Memorial Day weekend of 2008. They said, bring her out to our jet propulsion lab, and she can watch the Phoenix spaceship land on the planet Mars. It was really cool. But I bring this up because when I was out in California going to this special event, I had lunch with a man named John Aniston. John Aniston is an actor on The Days of Our Lives, and his daughter is Jennifer Aniston. You may know her from Friends, the television series. She's also done several movies. And when John Aniston was there talking to me, he said, I would love to be part of your next Loukoumi project. So that's when I just came out. I asked him, I said, how about you and your daughter, Jennifer, narrate the next Loukoumi book on CD? And he said, I'll ask. So he asked, and 3 weeks later, I'm driving home from work in New York City, and the phone rings, and I put it on, and it's John Aniston. He says, Jen will do it. I almost drove off the road. What an opportunity to have Jennifer Aniston narrate the next 2 Loukoumi books. And that's this book here, Loukoumi's Good Deeds and Loukoumi's Gift. And I bring this all up because all of the Loukoumi books benefit children's charities. So I asked Jennifer Aniston and her father, John Aniston, what charity would you like this book, this Loukoumi's Good Deeds book, which really has become the hallmark of the Loukoumi Foundation, teaching others to do good and to make a difference in the world. So right away, Jennifer said St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And I didn't know much about them at the time. I see their commercials around the holidays, you know, wonderful commercials, but I didn't know much about the hospital. So I said, yes, let's donate proceeds. In fact, we donate proceeds from the next 4 Loukoumi books in the series to St. Jude. And when we released this book, Loukoumi's Good Deeds, we released it at the hospital. They're in Memphis, Tennessee, and they're a research hospital that does incredible things, groundbreaking things for cancer research to help children with all types of cancer. So I went down to the hospital, and I remember being a little apprehensive about going there. You know, going into a children's hospital, you think it may be depressing or it may be sad. Not the case at all. It was one of the most hopeful, positive, happy places that I've ever visited. beautiful colors, artwork on the walls. Everybody had a smile on their face. And we did an event right outside the cafeteria there, where all of the kids came and we did a book reading with Loukoumi. And the kids were there. Many of them were coming to or from their cancer treatments. Many of them were hooked up to IVs. Many of them didn't have hair. But it was still a very positive experience. And there was one little girl there, and everybody always says, you will have a St. Jude moment sooner or later. And my St. Jude moment was when I met this little girl. Her name was Olivia, and she was about a year old. And I don't know if she connected with me because she was the same age as my daughter at the time, or because she didn't have hair on her head, but she had this headband. Wow, it was a big daisy, a big flower. It looked like it was growing out of her head. And I'm going to show you a picture here if you can see it. So there is a picture of Olivia, and this is from our Inspiring Stories book. She wrote an essay for our book about this experience. And you see Olivia there with Loukoumi, our character, where she met, and we spent the rest of the day together. That picture hung in my office and still does today. But for 3 years, it was in my office. And I always wondered, whatever happened to little Olivia? So now we're in 2011. And I remember it was right before we released one of our new Loukoumi books. And I had not checked my Facebook page in a couple of weeks. So I went on. I remember it was a Thursday evening in November of 2011. I was exhausted. It was midnight. But I went on my Facebook page. And while I was checking the page, that picture of little Olivia popped on my screen. And it was posted there by her grandmother, who I also met on that visit to St. Jude Children's Hospital. And Olivia's grandmother started to write to tell me that Olivia was in the hospital, and she had a tumor in her eye, which was cancer in her eye. And she just underwent a treatment where they took a chip and put it in her eye to shrink the tumor down. And I'm still wondering, why is this grandmother, wonderful woman, I said, why is she reaching out to me after 3 years to tell me this? So she continues to write to tell me that since we met 3 years ago, 3 years prior to that Facebook post, it was very important to Olivia's parents that she read as many books as possible, because there was a fear that she would lose her eyesight and she'd go blind. And her parents wanted her to read as many books as possible, so that if she did go blind, she would always remember the pictures. And that's when her grandmother told me that not a night went by since we met 3 years prior when Olivia didn't ask to have one of the Loukoumi books read to her. So that was my St. Jude moment. I'm sitting there at my computer midnight on this Thursday evening with tears in my eyes. I couldn't even tell my family because they were all asleep. But that's what St. Jude is all about. And that's what the Loukoumi Foundation is all about. It's about reaching out and making a difference in someone's life, sometimes not even realizing that you're doing it. So we started this program for St. Jude, and it started at the Ann Hutchinson School in Eastchester, New York, about 10 years ago, where children will make a card for a patient at the hospital, which is what we're proposing to do this month for a good deed, and then donate $1, one symbolic dollar. Those dollars have raised over $74,000 now that we've all raised to form the Loukoumi Foundation Treatment Room at St. Jude Children's Hospital, which opened in 2019, right before the pandemic. And we've pledged to committing to continue to support this program for the next 10 years. And I hope that you will fall in love with St. Jude just like I did. We have a short video, and then we're going to tell you how to get involved with this project. So let me go to the shared screen.
Some days it feels like it's never gonna stop.
It's kind of a mental war Sometimes you just feel like it's not going to get any better.
Lo primero que le pregunté a mi papá fue, papi, yo me voy a morir.
When you go through suffering, you learn a lot about yourself. Good stuff comes out of every bad situation.
Dark circles all around my eyes. I was just out of it.
In one moment, those 3 words, you have cancer, and my whole life changed.
Without cancer, who am I?
I feel like I could do anything. I could go to college, be a nurse, be a doctor, anything.
I'm a straight-A student, focusing on getting my bachelor's degree in journalism. I'm just doing one step at a time.
I would like to go in the filming industry. It's kind of always been something awesome to me, but it's gonna take some work.
While I was going through chemo, I learned how to read greens. I chipped and putted, I worked on sand shots, stuff that I would need to know. The best score I've had is an 86, but I really want to get down to 85 or less. I've been working at it, and I think that that's achievable now.
I'm not the same person I was when I first went into this. I'm a better human being and individual because I went through St. Jude. It wasn't like a hospital, it was like a fun-loving community, a family.
You and I have vowed that we will do everything in our power to bring about the defeat of these catastrophic diseases.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, world-renowned.
I need your help.
Advancements in pediatric science.
I can't do it alone.
And clinical care.
Please help me.
We're going to treat children of every creed, nationality, and color. And by the grace of God, it shall be done.
Good morning. As Nick referenced earlier, my name is Terry Watson, and I'm the Senior Director of Entertainment Marketing at ALSAC, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I am so honored to have the opportunity to be here today and help celebrate Loukoumi's Make a Difference Day. What an incredible journey Nick has taken us on through the creation of this wonderful, educational, and inspiring legacy of Loukoumi. I first met Nick over a decade ago when he first introduced me to the world of Loukoumi and his vision for helping kids, and most notably at the time, the kids at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. At that time, I had the good fortune to be able to join Nick in New York for one of the first readings of Loukoumi's Good Deeds, and there it began. Shortly thereafter, Nick came to visit the hospital. Then more books were authored, lots of events, launching the Loukoumi Foundation, recognitions, awards, lots of schools participating, and a Loukoumi room dedicated at St. Jude. And that brought lots of wonderful kids and adults finding their passion for helping others and sharing their voices to spread the word of good deeds and acts of kindness and how one person can truly make a difference. Just like our founder, Danny Thomas, who always has said, I would rather have 1 million people give $1 than one person give $1 million. One person can certainly make a difference. And because of the generous volunteers and donors like all of you, St. Jude is leading the way the world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer and other catastrophic diseases. No family ever receives a bill for travel, treatment, housing, or food, because all a family should worry about is helping their child live. You help make that possible, and for that, we are eternally grateful. I continue to be so impressed by Nick for his unwavering desire and efforts to help others, which is only matched by his passion and commitment to raise awareness and funds for St. Jude kids and other deserving charities. Our staff and patient families, when I say thank you, Nick, and thank you to all of you for your continued support. We'll look forward to a time when you can all come and visit St. Jude and see firsthand what your hard work has helped build. Nick has created a mighty army of young charitable advocates who have a clear vision and purpose of what it means to help others and will undoubtedly be future leaders. And speaking of future leaders, I had the opportunity to meet this fabulous young lady when she came to visit St. Jude last year for the Loukoumi room dedication. She's hardworking, dedicated, and already an inspirational leader. Let's please welcome a great St. Jude ambassador. Take it away, Eva.
Hi, my name is Eva Saposeris, and I'm a part of the Loukoumi Kids Club. Today I'm going to tell you about how to get involved with the Loukoumi Foundation's initiative at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. The Loukoumi Foundation is currently working on establishing a treatment room where the patients can learn while receiving their treatment. This way they can keep up with their education, since at times they're missing months or weeks of school to receive their life-saving treatment. The first thing you can do to get involved with this project is create a caring card for a kid at St. Jude. Be positive, and let the kid at St. Jude know that you're thinking of them and that they should stay strong. Once you're done with your card, take a picture of it and email it to loukoumiffoundation@gmail.com. But you're not done yet. Check out our fundraising website, fundraising.stjude.org/Loukoumi. Here you can press Make a Gift. We suggest donating $5 to go along with your card, but you can donate any amount you'd like. No amount is too big or too small. We all come together to make a difference. For my dream day, I got to visit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Here I got to take a tour of the hospital and meet patients. It was a very heartwarming experience. I created a team, and you can too. If you press register, you have the option to register as an individual, register and start a new team, or register and join an existing team. I raised over $13,000 for this project, and I am working still to raise more money. And you can join me too. Together, we can make a difference.
Those videos still get to me. It brings back the memories of my visits to St. Jude and makes me want to do more. I hope you feel the same. Ava, that wonderful girl that you just saw, is our St. Jude ambassador. And just this week, she teamed up with a young woman in her high school at Eastchester High School. And this young woman, Cora's family, has a sushi restaurant, the Kumo Sushi Lounge in Scarsdale. And she got them together to donate proceeds from their restaurant to the Loukoumi Foundation. They actually created a Loukoumi sushi roll too, which is kind of cool. But what we're asking you to do here this month is to make a card. Just get some paper and some crayons or markers. Make a caring card for a patient. Just tell them you're thinking of them, and then give it to your teachers or your principals, and they can mail them in. You don't have to email it. You can also mail in the physical card, and we will get it to a patient at St. Jude. And then we ask you to just donate $1 to show that together we really can make a difference, that your $1 will collectively make a difference. And it has. If you see from our room, as I mentioned, we've raised now over $74,000 from students. These aren't corporate donations. These are students donating $1 so that you can see that this room is yours, that you're sponsoring this room and you're truly making a difference. And what's so special about this room is the Loukoumi Foundation treatment room at St. Jude is also a teaching room. So when patients come to the hospital, they have to leave their schools for several weeks or months at a time, and they fall behind in their studies. So in the Loukoumi Foundation treatment room, when patients come there and they're hooked up to IVs and getting their treatment, we also have teachers and educators come in and help the children with their studies so that when they do go back to school weeks or months later, they don't fall as far behind. So I can't thank you enough, first of all, to Principal Helmrich and everyone at Our Lady of Grace School for welcoming me here today. I'm thrilled to be here, and to all of your schools for bringing me into your schools today so that we could talk about our good deed of the month. I thank you. I wish everyone a wonderful month, a happy Thanksgiving, and let's make a difference together. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.